Namaste. Welcome to this chair yoga practice for the sacral chakra. So today we're not going to need any special equipment. There is a short video of a chair practice that will need some special equipment, but I will send you details of that later by email. So today we're going to start with the right hand, fingers pointing to the left, thumb pointing forward, palm up, and the left hand on top, fingers pointing to the right, thumb pointing forward, and then joining the two thumbs together. And I'm going to bring my hands a little closer to the camera so that you can see what that looks like. So you've got right hand, left hand, thumbs together. Smashing stuff. And then we're going to rest that. This is the mudra, the hand gesture for the sacral chakra. You can rest it in the lap or around about your navel, which is just about where the sacral chakra falls in the body. And then holding this mudra to channel the energy of the sacral chakra into the area that it sits in the body. We can sit tall, relax the shoulders, close the eyes, and just take a few moments here to perhaps tune into that area of the body. You can imagine your hips, pelvis, and low abdomen bathed in a warm orange light. And perhaps there are areas of the body that need nurturing in those spaces. Become aware of them. Perhaps you can direct that warm orange light to those areas. Perhaps you can breathe a little deeper and feel your abdomen swelling with your breath and falling as you exhale. Our breath is our most tangible contact with prana, energy in yoga. And so you can feel that you're stoking that warm orange light, that fire in the belly with each breath in. And you can send that warm orange light through to any structures in the body that need a little bit of creative healing. Perhaps they're not flowing as they should. Often our intentions are as powerful as our actions, if not more so. So if you have the intention to draw your energy to the areas where you have discomfort or unease, this can be as effective as our physical practice. At the end of your next exhalation, you can allow your hands to rest wherever they're comfortable. Again, sitting tall, draw your chin towards your chest. And if it feels good, you can roll your right ear to your right shoulder, chin to chest, and left ear to left shoulder. Little semicircles here, just doing what feels good with your neck. And if you prefer to do head turning instead of neck rolling, then you can use that as your alternative practice. If you like to make circles with your chin or your head, you can do that now. Just allowing the circle to be a gentle one, so not taking the head too far back, still feeling that that movement is supported and not too floppy. And the next time your chin comes to your chest, you can go the opposite way. And there's no obligation to make circles. And if you feel that your neck is making crunching or grinding or popping sounds, maybe just stick with movements that don't create those sounds in the body. It can be quite disconcerting. The next time your chin comes to your chest, smiling to yourself, then bringing your head upright, opening your eyes, freeing your arms so that you can swing the arms backwards and forwards. And as I said last week, it's really hard for us to work with just one chakra in the body. And in the case of the sacral chakra, the heart chakra in the center of the chest is very much connected to it, as is the throat. So we do lots of things with our arms as well in this practice. So allowing the arms to swing back down to your sides, and then just rolling your shoulders a little bit, making sure that we feel that we're limbering not just the hips and feet today, and the low back, but also the whole of the back of the body. Let's roll the shoulders forwards. Very good. And then we're going to bring the arms back to steadiness and prepare the feet for standing a little bit. So I'm just going to turn ever so slightly sideways. If you're using a block, you can maybe pop it out of the way if it's good for you to do that now. We're going to start with the left leg first, and that's because the moon is really associated with the sacral chakra, and moon energy flows down the left side of our body. So it's a way that we can further tap into that sacral energy. So we're going to slide the left foot forward and just spread the toes nice and wide, and then scrunch the toes up as close together as possible. Spread the toes wide, scrunch them up, spreading wide, scrunching up. One more like this, spreading wide, scrunching up. And now moving the whole foot, tipping the toes back towards the body and then pointing the toes away from the body. Moving your foot in a way that feels good. So you're extending through the ankle, making the movements slow but flowing. Languid is a word that springs to mind. And once you've done a little bit of toe tipping or ankle tipping, you can circle your ankle, resting your heel on the floor so it's nice and restful for your leg, noticing as you do this that the bone of the thigh rolls a little bit in the hip socket. So nurturing, because there's no weight on the leg there. Hopefully no strain on your hip. Go in the opposite direction as well. And remember all of the while that you can sit tall. Oh, it might be hard to see because I've got my cozy orange jumper on for the sacral chakra today. Very good. And then when you finish doing your ankle circles, you can slide this foot in. Just observe the difference between the 2 feet, between the feeling of both legs, both sides of the body, and then slide your right foot away. Spreading your toes and then scrunching them close together, spreading and scrunching. Do the best that you can with what you've got, without judgment, just observing that sensation. And then the whole foot, toes all the way back towards you, pointing your toes as far away as you feel comfortable doing, all the way back, pointing away, flexing back, pointing away. Let's do one more like this. And then resting your heel on the floor, you can make nice circles with the ankle. Noticing with a little softness in your knee, if that encourages a rolling sensation, a sort of massaging sensation in the hip joint. Going the opposite way as well. Ooh, I've got a clicky ankle on this side. Very good. And I've, as usual, chosen a squeaky chair. Hey ho, that's the way it goes. When you're ready, bring your foot back to the center, slide that leg in, and just feel the difference between the 2 sides of the body. And here, we're going to take the focus slightly away from the feet to limber through the upper body as well. So sitting tall, allowing your feet to press into the floor so you feel the support of the strength of the legs, and that gives you a slight lift through the rest of the body. Breathe in as you take your elbows wide, opening your chest, and as you breathe out, round through your spine, draw your elbows in, scoop your belly in, chin towards your chest. Doesn't have to reach your chest. Breathing in, opening the elbows wide, opening the chest, maybe lifting your chin if it feels good to do that. Breathing out, scoop the belly in, chin to chest, elbows drawn in towards that space at the bottom of the ribcage. Breathing in, opening, expanding. Breathing out, closing, rounding. Breathing in, opening, feeling that length in the front of the body. Breathing out, rounding through the spine. We're going to do just one more. So we've done 6. Breathing in and breathing out. Still pressing the feet into the floor. Breathe in, sit tall, and breathe out as you float your arms down to your sides. And here, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, backwards and forwards. Just a little release from that movement. Very good. Okay, so let's come back to the legs now. So you can either sit a little bit further back on your seat so that your thighs are supported, and then that supports the movement that you're going to do, or which is kicking, or you can lift your foot away from the floor using the strength of your body to do your kicking, or you can hold underneath the thigh. So choose whichever of these is suitable for you, and then we're going to extend gently the left leg. It doesn't need to be straight, and then bend the knee. So just a gentle kicking motion. If you want to, you can think of something, hopefully not someone, that you would like to kick away, to release from your life, to let go of, to get rid of. Fantastic stuff. Very good. And then when you've done a few kicks, we're going to bring the knee up. So if you're back here, that's okay. You can just stay where you are. If you're holding your knee, that's fine too. And stir the knee round in a circle, or stir the foot round in a circle. Very good. Just a few of these, and changing direction as well. And then when you're ready, taking the left foot down to the floor, come to the front of your seat so that you have room to move your hip. And then sitting tall, firm in the belly, press the right foot down, lift the left leg up and out, and then up and back in. Really firm in the belly, up and out, up and back in. Up and out, last one, up and back in. Very nice. With both feet on the floor, feel the difference between the two sides of the body. And we'll go back to kicking on the right-hand side. So if you want to slide yourself back in your seat, you can. Hold underneath the thigh if you prefer, or simply lift your knee, but lifting the torso as well, not tipping forward. We'll bend and lengthen, lengthen and bend the right leg. Just finding some movement, some fluidity, some dynamism. Dynamism, is that even a word? Hopefully it is, in the right leg. And then when you're ready, with this foot on the floor, you can make adjustments, perhaps coming slightly forward or holding underneath the back of the thigh to move your foot in stirring circles. Very good. And we'll also go the opposite way as well. Smashing stuff. And then gently releasing the right foot to the floor, making sure you're at the front of your seat so you've got room to move in your hips. Sitting tall, pressing the left foot down, firm in the belly, lifting the right foot up and out, and then up and back into center. Doesn't matter how far it goes, up and out, up and back in. Last one, firm belly, up and out, up and back in. Very good. Taking a little rest here, we're going to do something for the upper body while we rest the low body. So still with the feet pressing down, we're going to reach the arms wide, breathing in. And as you breathe out, reach the left arm down and the right arm up. Just a little side bend. Breathing in back to the center, breathing out to the opposite side. You don't have to go far. Breathing in back to the center, breathing out, side bending to the left. Breathing in back to the center, breathing out, side bending to the right. One more each way. Breathing in, sit tall. Breathing out as you bend, just gently. Breathing in, sit tall. Breathing out, bending over to the right. Breathe in back to the center, and as you breathe out, just floating the arms down to the sides, rolling the shoulders a little bit backwards, a little bit forwards. Very good. Okay, so the final thing we're going to do here in our seats is to bring the feet as close together as they possibly can be. I'll maybe sit facing on for this one. And here we're going to keep the toes where they are, widen the heels. Keep the heels where they are, turn out the toes. Keep the toes where they are, widen the heels. Keep the heels where they are, widen the toes. So whenever you get to as far out as feels comfortable for you, we'll go the opposite way. Toes, heels, toes, together. Heels, toes, heels, toes. Toes, heels, toes, heels together. Heels, toes, heels, toes. See if you can do this a few more times. Find your own rhythm. Perhaps you want to go a little bit wider. Perhaps your steps are a little bit smaller. You want to put more in. That's fine. Whatever works for you, just getting that pivoting so you feel the rotation of the bones in the hips. Don't do anything that would strain your knees or strain your hips or strain your back. Just gentle movements. We'll do one more out and one more in to finish with the feet together, resting the hands on the knees. Take a moment here, sitting tall, to feel the effect of the practice that you've done so far. Perhaps you can feel some energy moving in the legs. Perhaps you have other sensations. That's okay. Doesn't matter what it is. It's all good. Okay. We're going to stand up onto our feet to do a little bit more flowing before we come to sit down again for a seated flowing part as well. Oh my goodness, we're flowing all over the place. Okay, so just taking your chair to one side or perhaps standing away from your chair. Bring your feet to about body width apart, maybe just slightly wider if that suits you. There is a point at which the feet are wider than is helpful. So much wider than your body becomes a little bit less stable than as wide as your body, and very close together is also quite unstable. So choose what's comfortable for you. With your feet on the floor, do a tiny bouncing here. Now, if you really enjoy the bouncing and shaking, you can allow that to happen in the rest of your body as well. A little shaking through the arms, maybe through the shoulders or the hips. But if you don't enjoy the bouncing or the shaking, that's okay. You can make it small. One of the great ways that you can support your sacral chakra without doing yoga is to dance. And I know there's a few dancers out there. So this is a nice sort of yoga nod to dancing, I guess. When you're ready, bring yourself back into the center. Your feet should feel really lovely, firmly planted and grounded down, and we're gently going to twist from side to side. You don't need to twist far. And as you twist, allow your shoulders, arms, and hands to be loose, to wrap the body around about the top of the hips, the height of just underneath the navel, and tap the body there. So you get a little bit of body tapping as we do our Kati Chakrasana. See if you can feel the rhythm and flow of this movement rather than focusing on the physical sensations of muscles and bones and joints. Perhaps you're aware of the movement of your fingertips through the air, the gentle contact with your hands and your body. If you like, you can have the visualization of being in the water, not under the water, in the water and doing this. And in fact, the next time you go to a swimming pool, if you can get yourself about chest or shoulder high in the water, this is a really lovely practice to do in the pool. Very good for strengthening your core. Whenever you're ready, and only if you want to, you can free your feet. And suddenly this becomes much less solid because it moves away from that feeling of solidity and inertia and more into a flowing movement. It becomes much more the energy of the sacral chakra than the root chakra. And if you want to, you can bend your knees in the center as you twist from side to side. I find it really hard not to do that now, so I think I might have been doing a bit of that already. And notice how it feels to do this across your hips, the pelvis at the front, the buttocks at the back. And all the while just tapping that area around the top of the hip, the space between the navel and the bottom of the body. When you're ready, you can let your bounce go, simply pivot. And again, bringing your feet to steadiness and just lose your momentum a little at a time until you're back to standing steady. Noticing as you do the difference between the movement and the stillness, perhaps feeling the flow of energy in the body. And then here, if you want to, you can roll your shoulders a few times. If they're feeling a little fatigued, mine do, but that's because I taught 17 yoga classes last week and I'm doing 15 this week and my shoulders are feeling it ever so slightly. There we are, it's all good. That's what the yoga is for. So we're going to take our hands onto our hips to do a little bit more for our hips today. A little softness in the knees, tucking your tailbone under to bring your pelvis forward, and then tucking your tailbone out to bring your pelvis the other way. I got that wrong. Backwards, forwards. Pelvic tilting, that's what we're doing. A little softness in the knees helps. If you try and do this with straight legs, you don't get very much movement, but with bent knees, you get a really nice rotation there. And just doing what feels natural to you. So you don't need to push, you don't need to make any particular movements. It doesn't need to look the same as anyone else. But feeling as you move, that movement in the hips and in the low back and in the buttocks and in the hip flexors here. When you're ready, you can come to the center and do a little sway from side to side. Just a little sway from side to side. If that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, that's okay. And then we're also going to do a little rotation. So here, with a nice soft knees, we're going to make circles with the hips. And last week, we tried to keep the body still as we made these circles with the hips. And this week, we're going to let the body get involved a little bit more. And so if you prefer to keep the body still, that's absolutely fine. Try to keep that softness in the knees, a little firmness in the belly muscles, and let your head be part of the movement as well. So if you try to look at the screen all of the time, then your head will be in one position and your neck will be rigid. But if you allow your head to move as you move, doesn't need to move much. And when you're ready, going in the opposite direction. And use the support of the muscles that are around the hips. So think about your buttocks, think about your belly muscles, think about the muscles in the tops of the legs, backs and fronts. quadriceps and hamstrings. They can all support our hip joints so that the hip itself is doing its work in a way that feels safer, more secure, healthier. One more time in this direction. We're going to come back to the center. And here, if it's comfortable, you can shake out your legs a little bit to get rid of any static energy that's built up in the legs. Very good. Maybe shake out the wrists a little bit. Maybe roll the shoulders a little bit backwards and forwards. Nicely done. Okay. Super duper. So still sticking with our hips, we're going to have the feet at that comfortable distance apart, a little softness, and try to make figure of eights with the hips. So you're taking one hip out, forward, out and back, and then the other forward, out and back. And see if that feels comfortable. See what your range of movement is like. It doesn't need to be much. It can be quite subtle. Little firmness across the belly here. Forward, out, back, forward, out, back, forward, out, back, forward, out, back. We're going to reverse that motion. So going back, out, forward, back, out, forward, back, out, forward, back, out, forward. I find it really difficult to go the opposite way. If you do too, that's okay. Give it a go. If not, go back to doing it the other way. The coordination is sometimes takes us a while to practice to get just right. Very good. When you're ready, you can come back to the center. And we're going to do a little lift of the hips. So imagine that you've got two pointers or lights here at the front of the hip bones. You're going to soften the left knee, lift the left hip up and out to the side. Soften the right knee, lift the right hip up and out to the side. So soften the left knee up and out, like you're lifting your hip over something. So a little bit from side to side. You can bring your feet a little narrower. And if you can, firming the belly muscles. You can do this as slowly and steadily as needed. Do it a little quicker if you feel comfortable doing it. Very good. We'll do one more to each side. And then coming back to the center, relaxing the arms, maybe giving the arms a little bit of a swing backwards and forwards. And just to realign everything, we're going to breathe in, take the arms out and up, looking up, reaching the hands over the head, and breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Let's do two more of those. Breathing in, deep cleansing breath in, look up, firm belly, firm buttocks, and exhaling deeply too. Last one, breathing in. And breathing out. Relaxing the arms down to the sides, wriggle anything that needs wriggling. And we're going to come to using our chairs again. So here, I'm going to face on to my chair that stands to the left of it, so that my right hand is on the chair, and I've got my left hand on my left hip or out to the side for support or balance, as the case may be. I'm going to have my feet next to each other, and then standing really tall, lifting the left leg a little away from the floor and just swinging backwards and forwards. Now, I know this doesn't suit everybody, but those it does suit, keep going like this. If you prefer, you can keep the left foot on the floor and just do little steps backwards and forwards. Little steps. So you still get the same sort of movement, but there's much more support for that movement. It's not just a swing. For anyone who feels that they would like an alternative to that, you can kneel on your right leg so that your left leg dangles a little bit. And some people find that more supportive in the right hip so that they can make the movement with the left. Any of these is an option. Hopefully you're enjoying a forwards and backwards movement of some kind. And then we're going to bring the feet together. Take a moment here. And then we're going to step forwards and backwards and actually out to the side. So from the standing right leg, step forward onto your left foot and then step the feet back to the gap together. Then we step out to the left, stepping out to the side, stepping back together, stepping behind the body, stepping back together. You can make your steps really small. We're doing it 2 more times through. Step forward, step back together, firm in the belly, step out to the side, step back together, step behind, step together. Step forward, step together, step out to the side, step together, step behind, step together. We're going to march in place just to release any tension from the body. I'm changing my chair to the opposite side, but you can simply wiggle yourself around to the opposite side. So now the left leg is the standing leg, left hand is on the chair, right hand can be out for support or on your hip. And for those of you who are comfortable, you can swing your right leg backwards and forwards. If you prefer not to do that, you can simply make small steps backwards and forwards. So not really moving the weight of the body, but taking the toe to the floor or even sliding the foot along the floor if that feels more supportive. For anyone who likes the idea of supporting the left hip a little bit more by kneeling, if your knees are fine, on your chair and swinging your right leg, then you can do that. In any position that you've chosen, using the tummy muscles and being aware of the buttock muscles, particularly in the swinging leg, and the stabilizing muscles in the standing leg. And you don't need to know what they are, you just feel them working. When you're ready, you can bring the legs back together again, and we'll do our stepping sequence here. So standing tall, nice and firm in the belly, step the right foot forward, step the feet together, step out to the side, step feet together, step slightly behind, step your feet together. Doesn't matter if your left heel comes up. So step forward, your left heel can come off the floor, that's no problem. Step together, step out to the side, step together, step behind, step together. One more time, forwards, together, side, together, behind, together, and march in place. Very good. So before we come to sitting to do our seated flowing poses, we're going to come into forward bend here with the chair, nice chair down dog, placing the hands on the back of your seat, walking your feet away from you, keeping a little softness in the knees, extend your tailbone behind you. If it feels comfortable here, you can simply sway your hips from side to side. Or if you prefer, you can lengthen one leg and then the other to do a little walking here. For those of you who find it comfortable, you can also turn your head from side to side. A little release of the neck, but still pressing down into the hands. Very good. When you're ready, coming back to the center, looking towards your seat, pressing into the hands, lifting in the belly, walking towards your chair, taking a moment just to feel the effect of your practice. And again, before we come to sitting back down again, we're going to turn around. So the chair back is behind us. Hold on to your chair back and then walk your feet slightly ahead of you so you get that sense of openness. You can roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your belly, and if you want to, you can look up slightly and see if you can lift your chest ever so slightly. Nice back bending position, holding onto the chair for support. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Bring your head back to a neutral position, step back towards your chair, relax your arms down to the side. Wriggle anything that needs wriggling. And then We're going to come to sitting down once more. We're going to sit towards the left of the seat to do gate pose today. Now, there is a Sanskrit name for this. It begins with V and it has lots of H's and G's in, and I just can't pronounce it off the top of my head today. Not to worry. So sitting with your right buttock and thigh, if you like, supported by the seat, we're going to reach the left foot out to the side so the leg is lengthened. And it can be in front of the body. It can be out to the side more directly as you choose. You can have your toes pointing forwards or pointing out to the side, or anywhere in between as you choose. And this is our base position, so we want to press the feet down and here lift in the belly muscles and take the arms out to the side. So we're going to explore side bending in both directions, and that's why we want the right hand side of the seat available, sitting to the left. Here, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, lift the chest. Feel firmness in the feet and the belly. We're going to breathe in here. And as you breathe out, take your left arm down a little and the right arm up. Very good. Going to come back to center, breathing in. Breathing out, side bending over the left leg. Breathe in back to the center. Breathing out. Very good. Let's do one more and see if you can go a little bit further into that side bend, but only if your body is willing. Come back to the center. We're going to rest the arms for a moment, turn the palms down, float the arms down. If you need to rest your leg, you can also bring your leg in towards you. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to come back to do the same position, so stretching the leg out again. This time we're going to bend to the right side, firm the feet down, firm the belly, reach the arms wide, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, breathing in here. And as you breathe out, reach the right hand to the chair seat and the left hand up and over. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out, reaching and folding to the right. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out to the right. And this time, breathing in back to the center. And as you go to the right, see if you can stretch your left fingertips away from your left toes to create a lovely diagonal sensation in the body. Breathing in back to the center. Float the arms down to the side. Bring your left knee in, and we're going to center ourselves a little bit more on the seat to take the feet a little bit wider as well, and then sit tall, leaning slightly forward, hands on the knees, and just sway your upper body from side to side. And you don't need to do much here. If you prefer just to come forward and be forward, that's fine. But swaying the upper body from side to side if you can, have the feeling of drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, elbows close to the body, not out to the side. Very good. When you're ready, from the center, sitting tall again. And we're going to come back to the left-hand side to do a little flow from left to right. So shifting your weight over to that left-hand side, extending your left leg, making sure your right foot's underneath your right knee, reaching the arms wide. We're going to take a breath in here. As you exhale, fold over the left leg, firm in the belly. And as you inhale, reach the right arm all the way down to the seat and reach the left arm over. Exhaling all the way over the left leg, bending to the left. Inhaling, stretching all the way to the right side. Very good. It doesn't matter if your breath's the other way around. We'll do one more. Exhaling. And inhaling. And then we'll finish by exhaling back to the center, lowering the arms and drawing our left leg in. We're going to sit for a moment in the center just to allow the body to absorb that information that we've given it, resting the arms wherever is comfortable. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. So here we want to be sitting with the left hip and thigh supported, or hip and buttock supported by the chair, stretching the right leg out to the right, making sure you've got a bit of room on your left-hand side. We'll place the feet down into the floor, reach the arms wide, draw the shoulder blades together, firm in the belly, inhaling here, and exhaling, oh, knee to the right. Inhale back to center, exhaling, oh, knee to the right. Inhale to center, exhaling as you side bend here. Inhaling to center. This time, see if you can go just a touch deeper, if your body has opened a little bit to feel that reach. Then inhale all the way up. Exhale, turn the palms, float the hands down. If you need to, you can step your right foot in just for a little rest. Wriggle anything that needs wriggling. Super. I'm going to step the right foot out again. Toes can be turned forwards or out to the side as you choose. You might want to alternate. Press the feet down, widen the arms, draw the shoulder blades towards you, firm in the belly, breathe in here. And this time taking the left hand down to the left side of the seat, the right hand up and over. Inhale back to the center. Exhaling up and over. Inhale to center. Exhaling over to the left. Inhale to center, and this time, as you exhale, see if you can reach your right fingers away from your right toes. Just a little hold here, and back to the center. Turn the palms down to float the arms to your side. Slide your right foot in. We're going to come back onto the seat, and this time, instead of having the feet wide, we're going to keep the feet more together. Breathe in as you look up. Breathe out as you slide the hands forward. And again here, you can either round through the spine if it feels good to you, or you can keep the chest open and do a little sway from side to side. Whatever suits you best. If you like the folding, then fold. If you like the opening, then open. When you're ready, come back to the center, sitting tall. Just shifting yourself ever so slightly to the right to extend your right leg for our flow from side to side. Firm feet into the floor, a little lift in the belly, reaching the arms wide and drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Breathing in as you reach over your right leg, and then breathing out as you reach to the left. We've reversed the breathing for a purpose. Breathing in over the right leg. Breathing out over to the left. You can go slower if you prefer. You can slow your breath down. And I can't remember how many we did on the other side, but I think it was 4. So we'll do one more. Maybe it was 3. Apologies, guys. One more it is. And then breathing in back to the center. Turning the hands, floating the arms down, sliding your right foot in, sitting more firmly on your seat in the center of the seat, and taking a moment to wriggle anything that needs wriggling. Maybe make some figure of 8s with your nose, rolling your shoulders, releasing in some way. So having so many things with the arms and the legs apart, we do need to do something with the arms and the legs together or crossed. So here we're going to do a variation of eagle pose. So as you sit, crossing your left foot over your right. Now, if you're comfortable, you may choose to lift your left leg over your right in a sort of cross-legged position. And if you find crossing even the ankles a little bit trying, then just having your feet nice and close together. Either of these will work. So as you have your feet on the floor, if you have your feet on the floor, try to have that sensation of moving the thighs and the knees towards each other. So you get that containing of the energy in the legs. And we've got the left in front of the right with the legs. So as we take the arms wide, we're going to wrap the right arm over the left arm and then hug the shoulders. Here, let the arms be heavy onto the chest, relax your neck, and take a few deep breaths. If you'd like to, you can try the deeper version of the arms, which is to lift the elbows and then bring the backs of the hands or the palms of the hands towards each other, as you choose. I've got rather a bulky jumper today, so this is as far as I'm going to get. Oh, the wind has happened and I've got the windows that make rude noises. So lifting the elbows ever so slightly if you can. You can do this even with your hands on your shoulders, and take another deep breath in and deep breath out. When you're ready, you can release your hands down to your shoulders if they're not there already, down the sides of the body, turning the arms open, opening your chest, uncrossing your legs or stepping them side by side. Relax the arms to the side, roll in the shoulders. Maybe make any movements with your neck that feel good. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. So you can have your feet quite close together. You can have the right foot crossed over the left. Try to have the feet on the floor, the knees moving together. Or you can cross your right leg all the way over your left, whichever of these feels best for you. And because we've got the right leg in front of the left, when we take our arms wide, we're going to cross the left arm over the right. Hug your shoulders to begin with. Let your arms be heavy on your chest. Take a deep breath. You can stay in this position if it suits you, if it feels useful. Relax your neck. And if you want to, you can lift the elbows, keep the upper arms together as much as possible. Move the backs of the hands or the palms of the hands towards each other. And again, here, lifting the elbows, taking a couple of deep breaths. Keep the knees moving towards each other, the thighs as well. And when you're ready, you can release your hands down to your shoulders. And from there, down the body, across the abdomen, opening the arms wide, uncrossing the legs, floating the arms down to the side. Very good. Roll your shoulders. And we're going to finish today with a little twist, just a little twist. So here you're sitting comfortably already, feet maybe just either together or inside hip width apart is nice. We're going to take the arms wide as we breathe in, twisting to the left first, reach the left hand behind you, the right hand across the body. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other, sit tall, lengthening into the crown of the head. And if you want to, you can turn your head to the left. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. When you're ready, you can turn to the front with your head, unwind your spine, turning a little to the opposite side and back to the center. Observe how that feels, wriggle any tension away that needs wriggling. Same thing on the other side, sit tall. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, reach the right hand behind you, the left hand to the right thigh. Breathe in again as you lengthen even into the crown of the head, shoulders down. And as you breathe out, turning your head, if it feels comfortable to do that, to the right. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. As you inhale, turn to the front with your head. Release your arms, unwind your spine, turn a little to the opposite side. Back to the center. And then relax. We are heading for relaxation now. So if you want to, you can give yourself any further wiggles that need wiggling. And bring your block if you need a block, and your blanket if you're using a blanket. Super stuff. So using whatever comfort suits you, and here actually if you have one of these red balls, the squashy red balls, you don't need to go and get it now, but when you're doing this video later, the squashy red ball in the low back as you do your relaxation might be quite a comfortable thing to do. But I will pop that into the video, the other short practice video that we'll have for this. As it happens, I'm working with someone who is doing some chair yoga for their hips, and so there will be an extra video this week which is all about the hips, a little bit more stabilizing and nurturing. When you're comfortable, rest your hands. You can use the mudra that we used at the beginning of the class, where you turn the right hand fingers to point to the left hand on top, and bring the thumbs together, if that suits you for relaxation. If you prefer just resting your hands wherever they're comfy, settling yourself back into your seat, closing your eyes, and taking note of now the stillness of the body, allowing the breath to be the thing that flows. Taking a deep breath in, sighing out through your mouth. Three more times, a long deep breath in, let all of your effort go. A long deep breath in, let your muscles begin to relax. A last deep breath in, and surrender your weight down into the floor, back into your chair. Allow your breath to find its natural, spontaneous rhythm, falling away into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften. The space between the eyebrows spreading. The area around the eyes relaxing. The mouth, tongue, jaw releasing. Allow that softness to permeate the rest of the body, letting go of any tension across the neck and shoulders, the arms, elbows, wrists, and fingers, all softening, all melting. Have that sensation of the body becoming fluid, softening and melting the chest, the abdomen, the upper, middle, and lower back, the sides of the body, the buttocks and the base of the torso. Feel the tension in the legs releasing, the hips, knees, ankles, the feet and toes, all softening. letting go, releasing down. As your body softens, be aware of your breath. Each breath in, drawing in vitality, prana, energy, harmony, peace. Each breath out, releasing tension, tightness, fatigue, discomfort, conflict. Each breath in, forgiving. Each breath out, releasing. Gently deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and feet by wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles. When you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Feel that stretch rippling through the body, maybe yawning to stretch the face. When you're ready, you can bring your hands together, rub them vigorously, getting lots of movement into the arms, heat into the palms of the hands. Press them firmly, rub them hard, and when they're warm, place the palms over the eyes. Feel that warmth soften and release the area around your eyes, blinking into your palms a few times. When you're ready, releasing your hands down as you open your eyes. Thank you for joining in this practice for the sacral chakra. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.